Erika Delgado.
All right, South Florida, milder temperatures this morning. We're mostly in the upper 60s to low 70s versus just yesterday where many of us were still in the 50s. 71 in Pompano Beach and Fort Lauderdale, 70 in Hialeah, Homestead, but we are seeing some nice upper 60s, Hialeah all the way into Kendall. Working our way into Miami-Dade, temperatures are mostly in the low, to Florida Keys, I should say, in the lower 70s, 72 in Key West, as well as in Isla Mirada, 71 in Key Largo, 68 degrees right now in Big Pine. Quiet conditions across the Florida Keys. We've been seeing some false echoes on our radar. Those are not showers. We're expecting to remain mostly dry today. Miami-Dade and Broward County also looking quiet. We'll have another quiet day with okay temperatures. It'll feel warm and it is a bit more muggy, but you can see there's still plenty of dry air across Florida by those shades of orange. Taking a look at the bigger picture, we do turn more muggy and warmer today with the return of a southeast wind. A front is leaving a mess of rain across the Ohio Valley all the way down into the northern Gulf Coast, and that will be entering the Florida Panhandle. As we work our way into the weekend, that front will weaken and is forecast to stall to the north of us, which means that a few spotty showers could develop Saturday into Sunday especially, but it also means that we're going to remain on the warm and muggy side of that front. So no cooling ahead as we work our way into next week. High temperatures on Monday will still be in the lower 80s with still the possibility of a few spotty showers. Your boating forecast, not the greatest. We do have winds offshore that could gust between 15 to 20 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, so use caution if heading offshore. Risk of rip current slightly elevated. Biscayne Bay, a moderate chop. Heading into the Florida Keys, coastal waters, a light to moderate chop. Or choppy, I should say, later on this afternoon will become a moderate chop, and we do have a high tide happening in the next hour. In the next 2 hours, Fort Lauderdale 9:24, 9:53 high tide in Miami and Key West, your high tide at 11:28 a.m. So a mix of sun and clouds. We do keep dry. Our temperatures will be around that 80-degree mark, and it will be breezy today. So at least we'll have a nice breeze in place. Cloudy at times tonight. We do have lighter winds. It'll feel more muggy. Temperatures upper 60s, a lot of low 70s once again tomorrow. And then nearing records possible on Saturday afternoon in the mid-80s. So the entire weekend will be muggy. Better chance for a spotty shower or two come Sunday into Monday, and even into next week we'll be looking for that cooling, but unfortunately South Florida will remain stuck in the lower 80s. That's your 7 on 7.
Meteorologist Erika Delgado.
All right, South Florida, we are seeing comfortable conditions, but not as cool as we were earlier in the week. We were waking up in the 50s and 60s every day this week, every morning. And today, mostly low 70s, still some areas in the 60s. 69 in West Kendall, 70 in Miami, and then 71 going around Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, and Pembroke Pines, all the way into Key West. The reason for that is, one, we have ocean influence this morning. The wind is out of the east-southeast, but we also have stronger wind speeds. Right now, they're anywhere between 5 to 15 miles per hour. So a strong wind off the water in the morning usually means that we don't see cool temperatures. And then as far as our rain is concerned, we remain dry today. What you see across the radar here, those greens, those are false echoes. We're not expecting any showers today. We still have a lot of dry air in place and really not a whole lot going on in Florida, as you can see. We have an area of high pressure in the Atlantic, and then you'll notice this moisture now from the Ohio Valley down into the northern Gulf Coast. That's associated with a front that will be weakening as it moves closer and closer. But until it does, we do still have two weather features that we are in between. We're in between this area of high pressure in the Atlantic, and we're in between that area of low pressure and that front. That means South Florida, the pressure gradient has tightened, and that causes breezy to gusty conditions, and that's what we can expect today. We'll have those stronger winds coming out of the southeast. They could be gusting between 20 to 25 miles per hour, but as high pressure moves farther away and this weakening front moves closer, we'll have lighter winds coming in on Saturday, and we'll have a southerly wind flow, which means we'll be much warmer, lighter winds, and we could even be nearing records for some South Florida locations on Saturday afternoon. If you're heading out on the boat this morning, use caution, especially this afternoon. Winds could be gusting up to 20 knots offshore. We do have an elevated risk of rip currents across area beaches, seas 2 to 3 feet. Biscayne Bay, a moderate chop, and as we work our way into the Florida Keys, use caution. Winds could gust up to 20 to 25 knots today. Seas beyond the reef could build anywhere from 4 to 5 and occasionally reach up to 6 feet. Coastal waters in the Florida Keys will be choppy most of the day. Eventually later this afternoon, it will become a moderate chop once we begin to see those wind speeds subside. High tide will be happening this morning, 9:24 in Fort Lauderdale, 9:53 a.m. in Miami. Key West, your high tide will be at 11:28 this morning. Heading into the afternoon, our highs will be in the lower 80s, a mix of sun and clouds. No more of those thin and wispy ones, but we'll see those fluffy fair weather clouds moving from east to west. Breezy at times, we talked about winds could gust between 20 to 25 miles per hour, but at least we are dry. Now we are a bit more muggy today, and we'll feel that overnight into tomorrow. Cloudy at times overnight. Temperatures will remain in the upper 60s to mostly low 70s. And then heading into the weekend, it will feel muggy, especially during the morning hours. Near record temperatures in the mid 80s possible on Saturday, still low 80s on Sunday, and then early next week, we have spotty shower can't be possible with low 80s sticking around all week. That's your 7 on 7 forecast.